I'm on my way to meet Paul Douglas, who used to work as an NHS nurse and a police officer, to find out how binge drinking affected him in his jobs.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Please come in.
What was your job title within the NHS?
I was the senior nurse manager in charge of accident emergency and intensive care services.
In your opinion, what was the percentage of people being treated with alcohol-related issues on the weekend?
Depends on the time of day, but in the evening, 60 to 70% of all those people coming into A&E were under the influence of alcohol. At other times of the year, like New Year's Eve, well, we ran a survey one year, and 94% of all those who attended A&E were under the influence of alcohol.
How much time did you spend treating patients with alcohol-related injuries?
A significant proportion of the time. There would be staff every weekend who dealt with almost nothing but alcohol-related problems.
I understand you also worked as a police officer. What was your role?
I was in uniform at Peckham, and I was also public order trained.
Is there a lot of violent attacks seen with people under the influence of alcohol?
I think people under the influence of alcohol probably accounted for the vast majority of violent attacks, not just on members of the public, but on the police themselves. And certainly some of the nastiest incidents I was involved in involved people who were drunk, absolute fighting drunk.
Would you say there were more alcohol-related incidents with women or men?
Probably with men. Men tends to get drunk and then decide to have fights. Women who get drunk, who end up involved in violent confrontations, tend to be nasty and vicious. Men, to be fair, throw a lot of punches and fall over a lot.
What was the worst incident you had to deal with while working as a police officer?
That's easy. I went to a road traffic accident. A young man in his early 20s who had had too much to drink had misjudged the traffic lights and had shot over a red light, and he hit a car going through the junction that had right of way. He survived with minor injuries, but all 4 people in the car that he hit were killed immediately.
That's terrible.
He subsequently went to prison for 7 years.
Would you say alcohol is one of the main reasons that people aged 16 to 25 are arrested?
Oh, without doubt. Usually 2 reasons. One is because they are drunk and aggressive and fighting. And the other one is that they are completely incapable of looking after themselves, to the point where we had one incident where I turned up to see a man who just decided to go to sleep in the middle of the road, and the traffic was using him a bit like a roundabout.
I'm on my way to meet Emmanuel O'Brien, who has agreed to talk to me about his drinking habits. Okay.
Hi.
So, we're talking to you about binge drinking.
Okay.
Have you ever been out binge drinking?
Not on purpose, no.
Are you a social drinker?
Yeah, I would say so. I drink a lot with my friends and go out at night.
Do you know how many units you consume on average night?
No, I don't. I just drink and drink.
How often do you go out drinking?
Every Friday, Saturday, like every weekend.
Do you know how many units is considered binge drinking?
No, I actually don't, because I just drink and I don't care what the units really.
Well, for men, binge drinking is considered to be 8 units, and for women it's considered to be 6. So that's the equivalent of 8 shots.
Something.
Thank you for talking with me.
No problem.
How long have you been doing bar work?
About a year and a half.
Have you ever been abused by a customer?
Many, many times. I've had drinks thrown at me, been screamed and shouted at by people because they didn't have their ID. I've had old ladies grab my butt whilst I'm collecting glasses. It's not a fun experience. I've had a guy swing for me, punch the wall, it's really funny. Um, I've had to drag someone out of the pub because they tried starting a fight with someone else. Yeah, working in the pub ain't fun.
How many people come into the bar already drunk?
Say about a third of the people, mainly on Fridays and Saturdays. Rest of the week you don't really get that many drunk people in, but Fridays and Saturdays you do.
How bad have you seen someone get? Like, have you ever seen anyone need an ambulance?
Yeah, I've had to call an ambulance for someone before because they passed out on one of the what's it called? Chairs, put it that way. The worst I've seen people get, I've seen a girl throw up into her own glass and try and drink it and then fall over. I've seen a guy fall off of his table and pull the table with him and all his drinks went all over him. I've seen someone try and walk out the wrong door and smash their head into it. That was really funny. Seen people just fall whilst waiting to get a drink at the bar because they're just that drunk they can't even stand up anymore. Yeah, seen it get really bad.
What is the cut-off point for a customer? When do you say they can't have any more alcohol?
It's down to server discretion. So if you're serving someone and you deem them to be too drunk, then you can say you're not getting served anymore. But it's mainly when they can't speak properly, can't stand properly, slurring their words, not even talking, just pointing at what they want. That's when you say, yeah, I'm not serving you, and then walk away.